Okay guys, here is my new base shelter system set up. Let me take you through a quick, now it's not a new system. I've had this system for a long time now. I think since the first year that they came out through Kickstarter. I backed the campaign and I got the system. I'm a loyal customer of Sierra Madre. I have all three shelter systems. I am a hoarder of good gear, and this is by far excellent gear. Let me show you how I have it set up. I did do a few little changes. Not that their system was wrong or anything, but I just made it easier for myself. So I'll explain this little loop right now in a little bit, but right now I have it strung up around the tree and then back to this little titanium, I think it's called the Wasp. Makes it tying it a lot easier. And also I like to leave this big loop right here because in case my hammock, I need to adjust it and put my strap higher, the hammock sling can go in between and still have space to move. If you put this tight to the tree, then they interfere with each other. But by making a big loop and doing it back here, your strap can go in between and up if need be. You see that? So I just find that it's easier for me to set up with that system. But another option I did, which I like much better, but I didn't set it up right now, is I have the same cordage, the same line that I use, this Dyneema. I run like if you were setting up a tarp from tree to tree. I string that line up first, and then I take out my system. I open up one end, take this loop out, and hook it on to the same Wasp that I just showed you on the ridge line, and then the other end as well. And the shelter hangs and dangles without ever touching the floor. But the reason I like that system better is because it is so much easier to adjust and center. If you had to make any adjustments, which here I just set it up on the fly. I didn't really quick. I'm not sleeping in it tonight, so I just wanted to throw it up and do my review. But look how I have a lot more space here than I do over there. So this is not a good setup because I'm not centered. So if you see, my shelter is cockeyed to the right, but my sleeping bag, my hammock, the bottom of the center is somewhere like here. So it should be like maybe 2 feet, 1.5 feet over to the left. If I had that ridgeline system set up, I could just grab that hook and slide it, and then go to this side and slide it over and just pull it tight, and it would be perfect. Then you just put out your stake lines, your tie out lines all around, and done. It's so much easier for me. I find it that it's so much easier to do it that way than this setup, just because now for me to center it, I would have to break everything down, take out all the stakes, untie it, tie this one tighter, or no, first untie this one, make it looser, then loosen it up, and then this one go to this side and tie it up so it pulls it. But you're kind of always just like guessing. You're not really getting it perfect. But with the other system, it's a lot easier to center the system, in my opinion. In some of my vids is, you see how I have this wrapped around the tree, and it goes to this, which this I wouldn't usually tie this hook. I would bring it back and loop it to this, and then this eventually, when it has pressure on it, it would stop running. But the reason for that is that it creates a big loop of V so that your hammock can go in between the V and have space to sway. But by doing it this way, if your hammock is here, it's gonna keep hitting with your line and your tarp is gonna keep dangling and whatever. So, but right now I just wanted to get it up quick and show you. So this hook would come back to here and loop around the tree. All right. And then, but the good thing about this system is, look, you put this up first. You put this up first all the way, and then you just come to these hooks and you just hook on your shelter, your rain fly, and you pull it tight. You pull it to where you want, and once this has pressure, it won't slide back. So you hook one on, you run to the other side, hook the other one on, and then push it back to where it needs to go, and then put pressure on it so it doesn't slide back on you. And then that's it. And then your system is hung in between the two. Now, if, let's say it's too much to the left, you can go loosen that one and slide it over this way, and then come to this one and slide it over to the right without the tarp ever touching the floor. So you can just set up without it ever touching the floor. And then on the other side, instead of using my little loop that I did, I put a titanium, I think this one was called the Wasp. But basically what it does is you loop it around the tree, like I said, come back, you hook it on, wrap it around the wings, and it cinches on itself, and it creates that V. If you see right here, the two lines. So let's say my hammock was dangling right in between, it has the space to sway back and forth a little bit. Now, of course, the fatter the tree, the bigger this V is gonna be, the more space you're gonna have. But just that right there is enough to just sway a little bit on the hammock without, hitting your ridge line all the time. Now, the reason I like this system better is because it gives you the ability to micro adjust your the positioning of your fly, of your rain fly, your tarp, your shelter between the trees. So if you let's say you put your hammock up and you realize, oh, you got to tweak it a little bit, it's no problem. You don't have to break down the whole thing. You can just slide it independent of the hammock and everything. So I really like this system. It took me a little bit of time to work out all the bugs, but yeah, my hammock has a little tiny loop using the same Dyneema that hooks onto this, and then you just pull this to where you want, and then once you let it go and it has weight, look, it doesn't go back. So that's I think that works well. Even though this Dyneema is kind of slippery, it still holds really well. I probably could have used a thicker line for the main line, and then these thin ones, and it would bite down a whole lot better. But because these two lines are the same thickness, sometimes, yeah, it does slide still a little bit, but it's not bad. All right, guys, so now let me take you up inside. Once we go inside the system, still a very, very great system. Here we have the top hammock for your partner, your friend, anybody you get along with. Your hammock, the bottom one, the bigger one. The bug screen. Once you close this up, you're totally encased. It's always better and easier to do with two hands, but it's possible with one. Here at the bottom of the screen is the gear stash, which is not supported by the screen. It's supported by its own line that you tie out to your carabiner or to your line at the end that goes around the tree. So this way the weight is on this, not the screen, because this is, you know, woven together. But you don't want to put weight on the screen because this can probably rip. Is not made to carry a load. So you got to make sure you tie out your gear stash the right way. And then that's it. You hop in, you lay down, you enjoy. Let me see if I could jump in onto the top one real quick, one-handed. Oh. Well, I'm just kicking off my shoes here. See, now, hold on. Okay, there. So now you're here in your hammock, chilling out, having a great time, just listening to the quiet peace, hearing nothing. I hear the water. I think there's a lawnmower somewhere in the distance. But here you have a pocket in case you want to put your phone. Nobody wants to use their phone when they're out here. This hook hooks onto your hammock so that it keeps the wall up, so that it keeps it closed. The bottom hammock, not the top hammock, so that it keeps it closed. This way it keeps, like right now it's a windy day, even though it's nice and warm, somewhat warm. It's kind of chilly because the wind. Oof, my butt is cold. But this keeps the hammock, this hook keeps the hammock up so that you can close off the wall. It keeps the hammock nice and high. So that's a good feature, and it's loaded with tons of little ideas and little things that make it a great product. I mean, if you want to check out their second and third systems, those are, I think, even better. In the sense, this is a great system, but they improved on it by making a door on the screen so that you can get in and out. See, so now if you want to get out of the hammock, let's say it's in the middle of the night, you got to get out and pee. You got to open this, and it pretty much opens almost all the way. As soon as you put any little kind of pressure on this, you see, I don't know if I'm catching that on, you see how it opens up. So no matter what, when you try to get out of the hammock, you got to open this up enough so that you're not, possibly tearing it, and you have the opening up big enough so you can step out. So the second and third systems, what they did is they put a door. So now you just open the door, but most of the screen stays up so you can get in and out, and the door is on both sides. So you can get out from either way and then just hop back in and just and it's much easier to reach. You don't got to try to slide to the end of one of the side of the hammock to try to reach that other zipper pull. It's just right there, so you can just close it quickly, get back into bed and warm yourself up again, because I hate those middle of the night pee sessions where you just gotta go and you gotta jump out of the hammock and it takes too much time to get dressed again, so you just run out butt naked. I don't know about you guys, but I like to sleep in my underwear. I run out, pee, do my business, and then come back in and warm up again. Those doors make it so much easier to do that. And look, I'm on the top hammock and there's plenty of space you know, so I'm not feeling claustrophobic or this thing isn't like right on me. I also put the tent a little bit higher, so you can, because look, it's pretty high off the ground. So let's say it was a very windy day, I wouldn't set it up this high because I'm getting all the wind right through here. I would set my top shelter, the Nube shelter, I would set it a lot lower, but my hammocks, you know, where they usually go, but that this way I'm covered more. And then if it was really bad, I would just put on the winter barrier. But great system. Let me show you a little bit of the view here. We're at the lake. The tie-up point goes right down to the stake. The girls over there, I don't think you see them, but they're on the sand sitting down. Very windy today. So, all right, guys, these are just some of my thoughts on the system. Great hammock, camping, air camp, shelter system, really well thought out. And yeah, I want to do a review of the latest one on the Stratus, because I never really did a full review of that one, but it's coming. I'll do it one day. Thanks, guys. Over and out.